This is Amy Birnbaum, the voice of Taya on Yu-Gi-Oh! Kirby on Kirby Right Back At Ya. The voice of Max on Pokemon.
Nay! I want to be a Pokemon trainer!
The voice of Bones on Yu-Gi-Oh!
Ectoplasmic fortification!
And you're watching DeBo's podcast.
They sure didn't leave any tracks behind.
Perhaps that's because they flew off in a balloon.
Oh, that's right. Then it's time to get the old noggin out of neutral and come up with a flawless theory. And with Ash as my right-hand man on the scene, we'll solve this in no time.
If you lose, we go on a date.
All right, that's it. I've heard just about enough out of you, Toots. Get it through your head. Yugi doesn't like you and he never will.
That's the spot! What are you laughing at?
And welcome back to an episode of the Boys Podcast. My guest today is a voice actress and producer. You may have heard her voice as Max and Molly in Pokemon, Taya Garner and Bones in Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kirby and Kirby Right Back At Ya, Charmy Bee in Sonic X, and many more. So welcome the legend herself, Amy, Queen of Games, Birnbaum. Welcome, Amy.
Wow, that was such a nice introduction. Thank you, Joseph. It's nice to meet you, and it's nice to be here.
It's an honor to have you on. Your big childhood icon. So, yes.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Of course, you're guys. You guys gotta check out her work. Like, oh my God, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Sonic X, Kirby Right Back At You. It's like a 4 kids icon here we're talking to. So this is awesome. So Amy, what have you been up to? How's Amy doing? How you doing, Amy?
I've been great. I just got back from my second ever Comic-Con. Just weekend in Houston, Texas. And it's been really fun to start to meet with fans in person and kind of see all of the fandom that exists around all of these shows and nostalgic brands. I had no idea, truly, just how powerful and how much staying power some of these characters have had. Sorry, I'll turn that off.
You're fine, it happens. I've heard it a lot. So it's not yours, but like other people, I've heard that a lot. So it's fine.
But it's been really exciting to be a participant in this massive fandom, and I really appreciate you wanting to talk to me.
Yeah, it's an honor. Like I said, like you're a legend. Like it's really. I wish you would. Like you mentioned Comic-Con. I wish you would come out here for a con in Chicago. That'd be really cool, Amy. That'd be wow.
I'm just starting to travel a bit, and who knows? I have a few trips planned over this year. I think I'm traveling to Mohegan Sun. I'll be in Connecticut next weekend. Then Atlanta. Then again in San Antonio for the Nostalgia Con. And then who knows? I think we're working on a couple more trips this year. So I don't know that I'll be at as many as I think my fellow actors are able to attend this year, but I'll try to attend more, as many as I can. But it's been really fun to meet people and see so much, just get a chance to meet everyone.
Yeah, and you mentioned Nostalgic. That's pretty cool. Cause I saw like the lineup. I wish it was out here. That's like a stacked lineup. Like so many cool unions. Like they got playing like Yu-Gi-Oh, the Turtles. Like oh my God, like wow.
Gosh, I know. It's amazing. I agree with you. It looks amazing.
Like wow. Like this. Oh, you were saying, Amy? I'm
Chicago's
sorry.
in my future. I said maybe Chicago's in my future.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Well, if you ever come out here, let us know. We got a good pizza here. We got.
That sounds good. I do like pizza.
Ooh, so pizza. Okay. Now, Amy, what
So
Oh, you're saying? Oh, you were saying? I cut you off. I feel.
sorry, there's a little bit of a lag, so please go ahead.
Oh, I was to tell you, what have you like? So besides that, like, what made you want to become a voice actress, and who would you say is your biggest inspiration for voice acting? Like, why did you want to become a voice actress? I'm curious. What's your inspiration?
Well, I don't think that I always knew that I wanted to be a voice actress. I enjoyed, as a kid, I enjoyed theater and Disney movies and musicals. I enjoyed singing. I played the piano. I was in a lot of acting spaces, but I never expected to do it full time or professionally. And then when I went to college, I just tried to get involved with different singing groups and performing groups, and just started to focus my career in a different direction in production. And so I worked mainly in kids media. So I was a producer and content creator in the kids media space. So I worked on making lots and lots of and websites and working on different kid brands from the production side of the business. And it was kind of the merging of these two things, the kids production and just a general interest and background and love of acting and singing that gave me access to an opportunity that was just fortunate, meeting the right people at the right time, testing my voice on a product that we were working on, and then meeting the head of a studio in New York who was looking for voice talent to work on shows like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was serendipitous, and I didn't know what I was getting into. And I didn't know how big it would become or how many shows there would be and how many of us there would be part of this community. But it was something that I realized I enjoyed a lot. And so continued to keep voice acting on the side while I was continuing to do production work. And that's part of the reason why when I see things or hear things like, she went into retirement, she's off the scene, where did she go? It's primarily because I wasn't doing full time. I was doing other work. So, but it's been this amazing part of my life and an aspect of my work. And yeah. And as far as inspiring voice actors, I have to say, I mean, it's growing up and listening to all of the Disney musicals. I was, of course, always inspired by the folks in the original, Little Mermaid, Jasmine from Aladdin, Lion King. I mean, I was just sort of always singing along to those as a young kid. But I find myself much more inspired today by my peers in this voice acting space who I see have been doing it for so long and who are in the anime scene, in the convention scene. I'm just watching them in awe and seeing how kindly they interact with their fans, how much they love and celebrate the work that they did and do, how they're evolving on social media, how they're creating content around their brands and around themselves in representation of the brands they worked on, and more from like a branding, self-branding and promotion and just genuine, authentic self space. I really am admiring what I'm seeing in my colleagues and peers.
It's really cool. And I could tell, like you mentioned, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. I could tell, like when you guys like a cast, for example, like you guys like a tight knit family, like Tara Sands and you with Dan Green, and like I could tell, like you guys are like a close family. I could tell.
Well, it was For me, it's been a while since I've been able to connect with these actors personally and professionally. But at the time that we were recording all of these shows, we saw each other a lot. And, we were usually recording on our own in the booth. Just we were given our script and we would record what we were given, and then we would go, then they would leave, or we'd pop onto another show, or we'd have a few hours in the studio. And we'd see each other in passing. We'd wave through the booth or see, someone coming up in the elevator. But it was very frequently when we would be recording together. But we did know each other, and we did have a couple of events together. And I think some of the other folks certainly are closer and have been, tighter friends through the years. But I did move away. But when we were all kind of living in New York, we were, very close, and it was really fun to work on the show together.
That's cool. That's really cool. Like, oh my, like, wow. And it's cool, like, with your career, like, in my opinion, like, you're like a legend. Like, you've done, like I said, so many cool roles. It's pretty cool. So, like, cool.
Thank you, Joseph. It's funny. I feel like I was on legendary shows, but my characters were maybe less legendary. So I benefit from being, legendary by association. Except for maybe Kirby, who's kind of, Taya and Max and some of my other folks, they tend to be, like the non-Yu-Gi-Oh trainer, the non-Pokemon trainer and the non-Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I've got these two characters who are in the show, but aren't really officially engaging in the brand. So it's kind of funny.
Wow. Sorry. Now, what is your favorite voice acting role you portrayed, and can you please do the voice of your favorite character you portrayed?
Well, you'll forgive me. I'm a little under the weather, as you might be able to hear my voice. I think that my favorite character that I played was Max, mainly because he was kind of my first. He was my first regular character in one of these series.
So Max was gonna he's gonna sound a little bit nasally because I'm a little bit sick, but Max really tried to be a trainer. Like, he really wanted to be a Pokemon trainer, and he'd follow May everywhere she went, and she was like my hero, and I wanted to be a trainer just like her.
Sorry, that's really cool. I do that. It's like, oh my god, that's so cool.
So Max was my favorite because he was just so cute and sarcastic and spunky and just always just so in awe and wide-eyed and of all the Pokemon in the whole world. He just got to kind of be like who the fans maybe are when they're watching the show, like what everyone kind of wants to be when they're young. Like, they want to be Pokemon trainers. They want to collect all the Pokemon they can. So I got to be this cute, adorable kid, and I loved him a lot. So I would say Max has a special place in my heart.
Wow, that's really cool. Now, if you wouldn't mind, can you do a couple characters if I ask you? Like, if you try your best. I know you said you were sick under the weather. But...
Yeah.
Okay. Taya, Bones, and I think Kirby does some noises. I don't know. My memory's so bad right now. I'm sorry.
So Taya might say something not dissimilar to what you're hearing now in this interview, but she might say something like,
Yugi, I believe in you, and I believe in the power of friendship, and there's nothing stronger than friendship. I summon the Dark Magician Girl!
That would be Taya. And I would, let's see, Bones is a little harder. Bones is kind of hard on the voice, but Bones says something like,
Ectoplasmic fortification!
When I auditioned for Bones, it was a little, it was tricky. I picked a voice that was hard to maintain. So there was a little bit of bones. I'm not sure I can give you much more of him today. And then Kirby, for the most part, Kirby is in all of the video games for Nintendo, Kirby is voiced by the Japanese actress. I do a lot of the Kirby in the TV series, Kirby Right Back at You. So the one that 4Kids managed. I provided a lot of sound effects and sound voices like, which is, just noises. But then sometimes if Kirby had English words or had words that had been retranslated into English and they needed Kirby to say something a little bit more, I guess, understandable in English, I'd say something like, so, how's that? A little Kirby, little Max, little Taya, little Bones.
That's really cool. Like, oh my, I'm sorry. Like, that's why I love voice actors and voice actresses so much. Like, that's so cool. Like, how you guys could change from one to like, wow, that's a talent. I'm sorry. That's really cool.
We never have to do it quite like that back to back. So, I definitely try to have a couple of lines, or try to have like a couple of. Try to practice them before I talk to anybody, just because I know I gotta like access them. Remember what I did.
That'd be crazy if all your characters like were all in one scene together. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Kirby interacting with Taya interacting. Oh my god. So it's like all crazy.
It would be so cool. I will say, you had asked me who my favorite voice actor was, and or voice character was. And I would say it was, I definitely stand by my Max, but I will say that my very, very, very first ever voiceover job was a character named Skelly in a CD-ROM game called I Spy Spooky Mansion, produced by Scholastic. And that was the first time I'd ever gotten to do a voiceover, like a real voiceover job. And so I think Skelly, who sounds not dissimilar to Max, who's like, or kind of like a combination of Max and Bones, is like,
welcome to the game of Spooky I Spy.
I don't know if you've ever played that game. That's kind of one of those weird ones where people are like, you were Skelly? And I was like, yeah. You know Skelly? That's awesome.
That's really cool. I'm sorry, like, wow, wow, Amy. I'm sorry, Amy. That's really cool.
I'm sounding different and cooler to myself than I normally do because of this cold. I'm psyched. I think I should go record a ton of stuff right now.
Now, can you walk me through the audition process? Like, how did you land the roles of Taya Gardner and Kirby Right Back at You? Like, how did you land those iconic roles? I'm curious.
Usually, so for the most part, I was in a pool of talent. There were a handful of us, or maybe larger than a handful of us, who were performing on different shows. And so when a new show would come in, if there was a specific character that they needed a particular voice, the directors and the folks who were there had a sense of what you could do or what you couldn't do, or they might just say, hey, can you try this? So they would send us a script and say, we'd love for you to audition. Sometimes we were there recording something else. Sometimes they were just casting from the beginning and saying, we need to build, everyone on the cast here. So it was really just pretty straightforward. You'd get the script, you'd come in, read a few lines, try a different, couple voices. The directors might ask you to try something else, and then you would try, and then they'd say, thank you so much, we'll be in touch. And then you might get a call that says you got the character of Taya or Max or whatever. Sometimes, I can't remember exactly, sometimes it could have been just like not really a formal call. They'll send you the script and be like, we booked you for a couple of hours for this day, you're going to come in and do this character. and you're like, oh, I guess I'm a series regular. Cool. It sometimes, it kind of depended on the show, who was sort of leading it, directing it. It was all good. All of it was great. But yeah, I think for Taya, I think I was asked to come in. I remember being asked to come in to read for that one and audition. I don't quite remember about Max, how I got that one. I was doing a lot of kids and boys voices at the time, just like random boys and girl voices on different Pokemon episodes. And so I think at that point they knew that I could do cute kids, and they were probably like, this kid has a sarcastic tone, and Amy's definitely got that nailed down. So I can't. But they probably just asked me to do a little reading on that one, and worked out.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Like, it's like the launch of the legendary Amy.
Wow, so sweet.
Very well. Now, favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character besides Taya, of course. Favorite Yu-Gi-Oh character.
Well, I mean, Taya. I have to love Taya the most. I'm trying to think if I played anyone other than Taya and Bones. They didn't usually cast me too much on Yu-Gi-Oh because Taya was a regular, and I use my own sounding voice, and it's tricky to sound totally like somebody else. And there were aspects of Taya that would come out in my voice in other characters. They don't, we didn't want that. So I would say, I mean, Bones was awesome. He got to be, even though it was really hard on my voice, and I didn't love how draining it was, I did love that I got to play this evil character. That was awesome. Because I was always playing sunny, bright, young characters, and I got to play someone kind of dark and sinister, so that was pretty cool.
I would say you don't like Mai or Tristan or Yugi or Joey or.
Oh, you mean not just the ones that I played? Oh, who's my favorite? Oh, I see.
Sorry.
Well, I love Joey. Joey's great. So fun. Love the comic relief. And then Yami. Yeah. Don't I have to love Yami?
True.
Yeah.
Now, is there a role you would love to portray that you haven't portrayed, like a certain type of role, like a sci-fi or like a Western type of show, or like out space? I don't know, any type of voice acting role? Genre?
Well, I would absolutely love to play a character who gets to sing. I've only gotten to do a little bit of singing in some of my roles, but not very much. And I've done a little bit of singing in some of my non-anime voiceover world, but yeah, I think I would love a singing role.
Singing role. So you love to be like a. So you sing? I'm guessing you love to sing.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's cool. I could see that. I could see you have a great voice. I could see for singing voice. I could see that.
It doesn't sound quite so good right now, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's really cool. Now, over the years of your career, do you still keep in touch with co-stars and directors you worked with over the years? Do you still?
Well, like I said, I moved away from the scene for, I've been out of I moved out of New York and to Atlanta, and so, and then got a full-time job here outside of the voiceover industry. So it was harder to keep in touch with folks, and people had moved from New York to LA, and they continued to stay in the state. But I would say Tara Sands and I stayed in somewhat regular touch, because when I moved out to Atlanta, Tara was working on a Cartoon Network show here at the time, and so she was a person that I got to know, or that I already knew, who was here in the city that I didn't know. So she and I, spent some time together here and hung out. And then, we kind of keep in touch a little bit on social media or text or email. And then I've gotten to reconnect with a few others now that I'm stepping back into the Comic-Con scene, which is great. Lisa Ortiz, Darren Dunstan. I just met Erica Schroeder for the first time at the convention in Houston. I met Emily Bauer.
Well, that's gonna help too. Like you said, that nostalgia con, like people you haven't seen for, you'll be like, oh my god! Like when you see them for the first time in like probably years, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, it's been really fun. I think Tara had asked me to participate in a podcast that she just recently launched, as you probably know, called Poor Kids Flashback. And that was sort of how I got pulled back in, because I'm happy to do a podcast with you, but I can't imagine anyone would want to hear from me. But sure, or if I'll remember anything. And she was like, no, let's do this. And she's been kind of my mentor. Like, here's what we do. Here's what's happening. Here are the spaces you should be in. Here's where, so it's been great to kind of reconnect with her. And now I'm just learning a lot from everybody else. So it's been nice.
It's really cool. Yeah, I love her podcast. Like I always share with my friends her podcast because she's such a nice and lovely person. Tara. Like I met her. We got to meet her in person when she went to a con called C2E2 out here in Chicago. Almost less than a year ago. She's super nice and lovely, and then I interviewed her before then. Super nice.
Awesome. Yeah, she is. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody that I know, super. That's just. I mean, people are genuinely kind and, and authentic and energetic and enthusiastic to talk and meet fans. We're just surprised that people care about what the work we've done and genuinely want to meet us, and it's cool.
Yeah, that's true. And Michael, my brother, told you the reason I started these interviews is during the pandemic, because I want to help cheer people up, like spread positivity. That's because I love to make people happy and smile, so that's why I started these interviews.
I love it. That's such a good reason.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And there's too much negativity, in the world, so I figured brighten people's days,
Good for you. I mean, that's exciting that you've figured out something positive to create out of something that was, devastating and miserable and isolating and depressing and all of these things. I mean, that you wanted to do something to bring joy to the world is really amazing. You should be proud of that.
Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, if this might be tough, who is the coolest person that you've worked with in your whole career? Who's the coolest?
Oh, gosh. That's a hard one. Who's the coolest person I've ever worked with? They're all cool. I can't pick. I'm sorry. My brain was scanning all of these aspects of my career, like all these different people that I've worked with in all different spaces, from production, from voiceover. I mean, I've had a really good fortune of being in environments that are filled with incredibly cool, awesome people, talented people, writers, directors, artists, animators, voice actors, directors, like marketing executives, marketing people, PR. Like, I've been able to meet people in all different fields inside of media production, and each person has been cool for different reasons and talented, and I learn from everyone that I work with. So I I refuse to answer that question, Joseph, because there isn't one person. I really like meeting the communities of people and being inspired by everyone who brings unique talents to the table.
That's a great answer, my friend. You only a truthful. That's a great answer. No, now if you didn't go into voice acting or anything in the entertainment industry, what do you think you would have done as a career, and what other hobbies and interests do you have besides the entertainment industry? Like, what do you have?
So I love working with kids. That's why I got into the kids entertainment space. And hobby-wise, like I said, I sing a bit. I do a lot of yoga. Professionally, I would say I've recently gotten into like graphic, visual, some design stuff. I'm not a designer at all. I'm not I can't illustrate, but I've been doing a little bit of exploration in graphic design work, which has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I'd love to do more voiceovers. I think voiceover is like the best job ever. I don't think there is a job that anyone would want other than that. That's probably the coolest. You get to be completely wacky, and you're behind the microphone.
Yeah.
And you can wear your pajamas. It's the best.
So do you like do any drawings at all? Do you like draw like like most sisters do that? Do you like do drawings at all?
No, I can't draw at all. I can't draw at all. I've been fortunate to grow up for the technology to have caught up to my skill level. So I can do a lot of drag and dropping. I would say I'm more like creative direction kind of stuff, but I like generating ideas around all different things and then getting those ideas made.
That's pretty cool. Wow. Well, see, my hobbies are like script writing because I love to write scripts.
Amazing.
So that's what I love to do because I want to become like a director. I want to be like that's why I want to pursue like director or screenwriting because I love to write. Like I try to write like 10 pages a day of scripts.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What kinds of scripts do you like to write? Do you have a particular genre? Or?
It's just a variety, like mystery, time travel, comedy, romance, everything. Anything you name it.
That's great. So how do you structure your time? Do you have one idea that you like to write every day or every week, or do you write all things?
See, I try. Okay, so like if I have like a thing, like writer's block. You know what I'm talking about, writer's block. Like if I lose track where I'm at for one idea, I go to like another. Like I don't know, I try to like do different ideas for different things that aren't made yet. Too.
Mm-hmm. That's great. To me, that's really that's talent. To be able to look at a blank white piece of paper and come up with an idea and write out words and write out stories and figure out all these different characters. I mean, that's extraordinary. If you can do that, keep writing. It's amazing. Yeah.
And maybe I should cast Legend. Oh, what'd you say?
In any way you can be creative, do it.
Thank you. And I was just saying, maybe I could cast the Legend Amy as the lead, right?
Maybe. If you give her a big musical number, she will do it.
I got you. It'll be like a musical. Like what? Okay, wait. Any particular musical? Like, do you like a certain type of musical? Like,
do I like what?
Any kind of musical? Is there a certain type of musical you like?
Well, I mean, I tend to like the more rock pop musical. I'm an alto, so I can't sing very high. So it would have to be, in lower range for me, if you don't mind.
Okay. I'll do that. That's really cool. Wow. Now, what'd you say, Amy? I'm sorry.
Music.
I hear what you said, Amy. I'm sorry. What did you say?
That's okay.
Okay, now a favorite band, artist, and type of music. Speaking of music.
My favorite singer-songwriter is Jonathan Brooke. She's I love her. I love her music. I love her lyrics. I love her unique chords. She's somebody I've liked since college, and I continue to love her. So I would say, yeah, Jonathan Brooke. But I like all different kinds of music. Generally, musical theater. I like pop music. Who doesn't like Taylor Swift? That's a pretty safe answer.
And you said.
But I tend to listen to whatever my kids are listening to these days.
And you said Jana LeBrook. Am I pronouncing that right? You said that.
Jonathan. It's like almost like Jonathan, but Jonathan. Yeah.
So if I interviewed Jonathan LeBrook, if I interviewed her, got her on my show, you'd go crazy.
I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love it. But she's very niche. I think she's kind of niche. Actually, I don't know how. I think she's niche. I keep her here, but I think I was listening. She's gotten a little bit more mainstream, but I don't know. I don't know what kind of fan base you'd get. You'd get very adoring, loyal fans who've loved her for many years, I'm sure.
So if I get her, then I'm gonna message you. I'm gonna say, Amy, you're joining this call really quick.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds good to me. I'll be there. If you get Jonathan Brooke, I'll be there.
I got you. I got you, because like I said, I do like musicians, actors. I do like the variety, so I'll try my best. Now, favorite movies and TV shows. What's your favorite movies and TV shows?
I like a lot of movies and TV shows. I would say the best TV show that I finished a few months ago was The Bear.
Ooh.
The best. I don't think anything's come close, in my opinion, to that in a long time. I love New Girl TV series. I like pretty much everything on Apple TV. We just finished Lessons in Chemistry, which was incredible. Ted Lasso, of course. Severance. I can't keep up. There's a lot of awesome content out there. So I tend to watch more series than movies these days, but yeah, those are some top ones. I like to rewatch old stuff too. I think Parks and Rec is like my all-time favorite comedy series. Yeah.
You said
Good content.
You mentioned Parks and Rec and New Girl. Both of my best friends were in those shows that I've interviewed. Believe it or not.
Both of your best friends are in those shows?
Yes.
Wow. That's awesome.
Like, do you know who Ben Schwartz is? Do you know who he is? Ben Schwartz? Who's in Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
He played John Ralphio.
These are your best friends?
You're like, what? Yeah.
What?
Your face is like, what? And I've interviewed 3 times on my show one of the main characters in New Girl, Max Greenfield. He played Schmidt.
Yes.
Yes. Your face is like, what?
You're like so connected. You could have every script circulated. This is amazing. I had no idea I was talking to my own legend. These are huge people, huge names, huge talent, incredible people. Seemingly. They seem great.
They are, like, oh my god, especially Max in particular. Oh my god, like Max Greenfield, Schmidt. He's super cool. We actually have an agreement every year, because I've interviewed him since 2021. Every year we've been doing an interview.
That is awesome. That makes me really happy to know that he does that with you. And oh my gosh, we are big Max Greenfield fans in our household. We all love him. He's great. If you have Max Greenfield on, I will come and he'll have at least a fan base in my fan. Like we'll all just come and sit and listen to him and laugh at his jokes and everything he has to say. He's great.
He's
Cool.
super funny. Like, oh my god! Like, actually, for my part 4 with him, would you want to join up for that call? You could meet him during the call.
I don't think he'd want to join with me, but I'd be happy to just, fangirl out on him if he wants. If he needs a fangirl, sure.
You're Schmidt. You're the guy from.
I don't think I could compose myself.
Oh, that's so cool! Like you mentioned, that, it's like wow. Of all shows, you mentioned New Girl and Parks and Rec. I'm like, what? That's crazy.
That's crazy. I mean, I just John Ralphio character too. I just I have a GIF on my phone that I keep handy of him going, "You're the worst." I have that at the ready to send to anyone at all times. That GIF gets passed around a lot on my phone too. Everyone. So anyway, cool people to know, man. That's awesome.
Well, that's really. If you want, can I actually really quick? Can I show you a clip from my Max interview with him, if it's possible?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry, my phone being cracked. My phone just cracked this morning, so I'm so sorry about being cracked. I apologize. Amy, sorry about that. So give me 1 second. It's loading. I apologize for being cracked again. My phone cracked this morning. Just a disclaimer. Okay, it's loading. Also, you're back. Can you hear me, Amy?
Yes, I turned it off. I turned my mute button on in case you wanted to play something for me.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know if you muted on accident or something. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, it's loading. Okay, this is from my 3rd interview of Max. He's funny. So this is like him trying to be sarcastic in the intro. You'll see. Because let me show you. Let me turn it up for you so you can hear him. Okay. Move it back. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Max Greenfield. This is Max Greenfield being interrupted by Joe, who hosts the Boys Podcast, which I will be on, or am on, and it's what you're watching. I was supposed to do this in a totally different way, but Joe interrupted me and I forgot my lines. This is Max Greenfield, and you're watching the Boys Podcast.
And then I put like the clip from New Girl, and then I put the rest of the interview.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
He's a super.
You really are bringing joy to everybody. You've got celebrity talent. I'm not including myself among it, but you've got like seriously awesome talent that you're bringing onto your show. It's amazing. Good for you.
Thank you, Amy. I really appreciate. Like honestly, I appreciate it. And I hope you don't think I was bragging. I'm just proud of my work. So I'm sorry.
You should be proud of your work. Brag away, man. That's awesome. So awesome. Cool.
Thank you, Amy. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know okay. Do you have favorite sports and teams? Do you like sports at all? I'm not too sure if you're a sports person.
No. No, I don't. Zero sports fan of any sort. Sorry. Hope I'm disappointing any. I know that might come as a big shock, and I might lose a lot of fans for saying that, but I don't watch any athletics at all.
Yeah, they're like, how dare you, Amy? I'm kidding. Now, what is your favorite food? Does Amy have a favorite food?
My favorite food? I can't eat them anymore, but I would say nachos is probably my favorite food. Mexican food of all kinds is my favorite. I'll eat Mexican every day, all day, for the rest of my life. Except that I really can't eat it. So, but that's not what you asked. You asked what my favorite is, and my favorite is Mexican food.
Are you allergic to nachos or no?
No, I just not healthy. Can't eat like that when you can't eat like that when you get older, Joseph.
Now, are there any projects you have in the works? Anything coming up in the works for Amy? Anything percolating? Anything coming up?
No, I mean, I think I like I said, in the acting voice space, it's really just about these upcoming conventions that'll be taking up a lot of time. And I'm excited to reconnect with a lot of the folks I used to work with and be, like I said, meet some fans and really just celebrate all these brands that have such great staying power. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited to, that's what's coming up.
Also a musical, I heard some musical, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think some original musical that somebody named Joseph Zito is writing for me. I think that might be on the horizon. Yeah.
It's also starring Max Greenfield, right?
Oh yeah, Amy and Max Greenfield. Here we come. Oh my god. It's a dream come true.
That'd be crazy. He actually said when I do he said when I actually make something, he's gonna be in it. So hey, Amy, just saying, yo.
He was like, "Can you just make sure that Amy Birnbaum is in it? That'd be awesome."
That'd be cool. Now, what advice would you give younger people who want to be going in the industry, like a voice actor or voice actress? Like, what's your advice? What advice does Amy have?
My advice, just keep trying, do what you love, don't try to block out the noise of people who, want to discourage you or put you in a box or make you feel like you can only do these certain things. Just, find stability in one kind of work, but then leave room in yourself to be creative and authentic and keep doing it, and don't listen to naysayers, I guess. Just be authentic and true to yourself.
I always like stay humble. Remember you came from. You know what I mean too. I mean stay humble.
I agree. Definitely stay humble. My son came home from school the other day, and he said, we took a quiz to find out what kind of leader we might be. And so we took a quiz that ranked all of our personality traits and 25 personality traits for leadership. And of the leaders that we met, they said that humility is the number one character trait you need to have in order to be a good leader. And I said, oh, where was humility ranked on your list? And he said, last. Okay, so you won't be leading. For some people, be humble. Humility is it. For my son, it's not. That's last. He'll have to lean into other traits.
Well, I always like to, like I said, stay humble. Remember where you came from. I don't get why people sometimes are like, oh, I'm Mr. or Mrs. Big. You know what I mean? You get what I mean, right?
Yeah. I agree. That's true. That's good advice. That's good advice.
Thank you. Now, would you be willing in the future to come back on for part 2, answer some fan-submitted questions?
Sure. But yes, definitely. Absolutely. I'd be happy to.
And if you got a fan question from Max, you'd go crazy. If he saw that.
Yes.
Now, do you have any questions before I ask you my last question? Do you have any questions? Does Amy have any questions?
No, I mean, I think this is great. I hope you keep doing what you're doing. I hope you keep creating cool content and meeting new people, and you've got quite an awesome family behind you who is championing your success, which is great. I love it.
Thank you. I always like to say family first, so thank you, Amy. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you seem like a really kind guy, so I appreciate this interview and I appreciate your time, and thank you for being so prepared and yeah. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, of course. I hope this brought a smile to your day. I hope the positive vibes came your way.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Now, Amy, is there anything you like to promote and shout out for the viewers? Check out your Instagram, your cons, your Mia, anything? You want to tell the viewers?
Well, everything feels like it's brand new, but you can check out my Instagram at amyb.voices. Starting to promote cons I'm headed to. And you're welcome to check out my voice website at amy-birnbaum.com and to hear some of the other animated voices I've done in the past. That's good.
I would like check out her website here and then make sure to follow the legend on Instagram.
If you will, if you do that, I have no doubt you will instantly double my following. It's not that big, and that's okay. Figuring it out.
Yeah,
But
I got you.
Yeah, it'll instantly double it, I'm sure.
Thank you again, Amy, for being an awesome and amazing guest at an amazing and fun time chatting with you. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Good luck with the podcast. It's awesome.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody, and stay awesome. And you stay awesome, Amy. Stay awesome.
This is Amy Birnbaum, the voice of Yugi. No, let's try it again.
Yugi's voice.
No, try it again. Take 2. I'm not good at improv, Joseph. I'm not good at doing it in improv. Okay, here we go. This is Amy Birnbaum, the voice of Taya on Yu-Gi-Oh!